If you were anything like me and are just thinking, there's plenty of water out here to fish, everybody just hang tight, calm down, chill. You got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of the state and world that we live in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Happy Monday. Hope you had some fun this weekend. Hope you got out and enjoyed this crazy weather. Welcome to Arizona, folks. We have 4 days of spring. I told you, Uncle Mike warned you, you need to enjoy those days because then pop, we're into the 90s, just like that. Yeah, that's like my life. Last week, I turned 49. When did that happen? How'd that happen so quickly? Yeah, exactly. So welcome and thanks for hanging out with us. We have quite a bit to get to because some hot and heated debates going on in basically the old standard debates, but let's see if we can get together and see if we can find a middle ground here. A few things that we want to discuss. Minnesota ain't playing when it comes to tree stands. When it comes to illegal tree stands, Minnesota just ain't playing, and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. So let's jump right in. A video I saw a little earlier that got me fired up. I want to know where this guy's fishing because he's pulling giant striped bass, saltwater fishing off the shore, and a boat comes running up on him. And so apparently this guy's he has I don't know, he's got a tripod set up or something, or maybe a buddy's behind him in filming this thing. But this boat runs right up in front of him right after he catches a solid, probably a good 15, 20 pound, probably 15 pound striper. Huge for shore fishing. Yeah, he's just casting out there and bringing them in. But how close is too close? Let's break it down, shall we? There might be a naughty word in here, so just relax. We're all adults. Let's get right to it here, and I can do that like that. See, look at that.
What are you guys doing? You're right in my zone.
Yeah, you're right in my zone. Okay, first of all, Slappy. He's in the right here. I'm going to say this right out of the gates. He's in the right to be upset about what these bozos did. It is what it is. And I can probably guess what's going on the boat. So I do understand from a certain standpoint, the guy with the center console right there. But the dude's wearing a fanny pack and a fishing purse. I don't really know how much sympathy I'm going to give him. I don't know how much. He's not a very sympathetic character, if I'm saying right. Hey, by the way, hey, guy over here with the man purse and the fanny pack. I'm going to get really violent with you. It's hard to take a guy seriously like that. Let's get going here.
Move offshore.
Yeah. Move offshore. Get out there. Yeah.
There's fish everywhere. You know,
Everywhere. Quite literally.
Why are you in front of me?
Worry about you.
Dude, you literally saw me catch a fish, so you went in front of me, bro.
Watch this beast he pulls up. Watch this thing.
Fuck.
Look at this guy. Woo! Look at this. What? Okay. That's just pretty much for me. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home. I'm good. Let's go clean this sucker up and let's get to frying. I'm all about that. But he essentially said, you guys saw me catch a fish and you guys came right to that spot. Now that's probably exactly what happened. You see the people on this boat. It looks like they're probably the husband or whatever, husband, wife, squad. This woman is at the front, doesn't really know even how to cast. So most likely he's just trying to get his woman on some fish. And I do understand that. I get it. You know, we always want to have people. What's up, Lynn? No, Lynn, you missed that we're just trying to work out territory disputes on the water. So this man's out there catching some huge fish off the shore, and this boat sees it and runs right up on it. So here we go. Let's get to it. I do understand the boater to an extent. Like I said, just trying to get his woman on a fish. But here we go. Let's get it.
You see all the breaking fish out there?
Yeah, look at all the breaking fish out there. It's top water. And his woman, in the meanwhile, is almost falling off the bow, trying to cast out of it. Like, look, get out there. All right.
They're all in hand, town plus fish out there.
Don't worry about it. You worry about you.
How bad is it? Worry about you.
Okay, now here's now dude on the boat, you're making it about me. Dude on the boat, you're making it about him, essentially, is what you're doing. You worry about you. You worry about you. I would totally understand if they're just kind of cruising down the shoreline and saying, yeah, we're just working this line, dude, no big deal. Etiquette states, though, that you do. If you're working the shore, the etiquette does state that you give the angler from the shore, just give him a pretty wide berth and then get back to the line that you're drifting or however you're trolling or whatever you're doing. Just stay out of their lines and stay out of their stuff, especially if they're on the fish. I mean, it is what it is. That's etiquette. Okay. It might not be, it's not law, but it's etiquette. So the boater is in the wrong at this point. It's just, yeah, you worry about you. Yeah, worry about you. And then we're going to show you exactly why the boater's completely wrong. Yeah, here he goes. It's true, they did. They pulled right up on him. Yeah, what the hell, man? Come on. Yeah. Oh, you're bad at fishing. Okay. And everyone in this argument is bad at insults and bad at trash talking. You worry about you. And then you're bad at fishing. Oh, my goodness. Don't worry about it. Here it comes. You're just bad. Idiots all. Yeah. Yeah, look, the fish are right over there. Ready? You see it now, right? Hey, instead of saying you suck, go buy a boat. Ow! Ow! Okay. That was a rough one. Essentially, the man said, "Let me translate. Go be poor somewhere else." Yeah, I'm out here in my $200,000 center console boat, and you're over there shore fishing with your tackle purse and your fanny pack. Win hearts and minds, right? Win hearts and minds. This is an issue when it comes to fishing. Those that aren't in right, Eddie, totally stunk. So right, but those that know angling and have been shore fishermen like I have been, boat fishermen like I have been, kayak fishermen like I have, it's all three are just different worlds. They are, but they all follow the same type of etiquette. At least there's an expectation of following in that line of etiquette. Like I said, if you're working the shoreline and there's somebody shore fishing, just get around. It's no big deal. It is no big deal. And if they're on the fish before you're on the fish, cool. That is not a big deal. This guy invited this in. This boater invited this. I would never, at least when I fish from a boat, I would never go towards somebody fishing on the shore. Ever. It's just dumb. It starts this. It could start a fight. It could get somebody whacked at the boat dock, the boat ramp later in the day. I don't want to deal with that beef. I'm out having a good time. There's no outdoor network or Bassmaster towers with cameras. Nothing. None of that's going on. We're not in a giant tournament here. We're not millions of dollars on the line. You're out there having some fun. You're just having a good time. So if you're out there having a good time, that spot that you came to, that there's somebody at, guess what? That's their spot now. That's not your spot. This is my spot. I've been fishing here for 15 years. Okay. I've been fishing here for 15 minutes and I caught 3 fish. It's a great spot. I appreciate that. But now scoot. Go away. I don't care. Oh, how'd you find out about this place? I don't know. Walking along the shoreline, casting, retrieving, and started getting on some fish. That's how I found it. Stumbled upon it, quite literally. Doesn't matter to a lot of people. A lot of people think that is their spot. And I understand. I get it when people say, hey, where'd you catch those fish? The water. Duh. I don't willfully give up my fishing spots. And I don't have many. I just like getting on the lake and having fun. There's not a lot of waypoints that I've said, like, this is right where they're at. Okay, cool. I've caught fish all over the place. Got places in the middle of Lake Pleasant, caught them on the shoreline, caught them up near the rocks, caught them just suspended somewhere over cover. They're everywhere. There's quite literally fish all over the joint. And that was a beast that guy had, man. I actually have fish envy at this point. But there's a lot of water. There's plenty of water. You are not in a tournament, and there's plenty of time. And if you don't have plenty of time, guess what? Guess what? You leave earlier next time. Sorry. Plan accordingly. There's other people out there enjoying our outdoors, and that's fine for them. We run into this at dove season too. And Eddie, Lake Pleasant hates everyone. Lake Pleasant is the lake version of Jurassic Park. Let me give you an example of this. For those who don't know, West Valley, Arizona, Lake Pleasant, wonderful, wonderful body of water. It starts like a Jurassic Park. Da 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 da. And the morning is just beautiful. It's just stunning. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we have such a beautiful body of water out here. It's absolutely amazing. And then the wind kicks up at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and all just hell breaks. It just gets dangerous, choppy. It turns into the ocean. It's like, now all the dinosaurs are eating everybody. Yeah. Did we just go to Mayberry? Holy mackerel, look at that. Those are the good old days, huh? You just got a little cane pole and throw it on out there and just go fishing, Pa. Where you going? Going fishing, Pa. But you're running this a dove season too. Same thing. Oh, this is my spot, and people hunting too close together, and people, sending warning shots, and like, y'all, it's dove. There is abundant. You can hunt dove 365 days a year here. And you hunt pigeon as well. And the 365 season is for the band called the Euros. Yeah, the Euro doves just invasive, and just go get them. Go get them, knock them down. Here's the deal. This is how you can tell bird ID for a Euro is so easy. And this is it. Yeah, right. That's how people get peppered, man. And again, statute of limitations over. My grandfather been dead a hot minute. Yeah, I got peppered. But I can just see what I wanted. What I would say is like, oh, I got peppered. What my grandfather saw me going in and telling my mom was, Mom, Grandpa shot me. Yeah. So I was like, say things, you're dead. I will shoot you. Yeah. He didn't say that. But yeah, I've seen people get peppered. I've seen, just because it's all of, this is my spot. One time I went out hunting with a buddy of mine, and he said, look, if you're not adding 2 or 3 spots to your roster every dove season, maybe even every time you're out on a lake, maybe add 1, maybe add 2, you're just going to run out of spots, period. Because you're not the only one that can find that, right? Someone else is eventually going to find, hey, this is a nice spot for bass. This is a nice spot for striper. This is a nice spot for, and by the way, there are no spots for striped bass. They are nonstop. They don't stop moving. They don't just sit and suspend. They're moving all the time. So, and then dove, same thing. Because, there's good spots for dove, but come on. You can go 50 yards down the way here and probably just hit just many birds. But anyway, get back to the Euros in the dove. The bird ID is really easy. If it looks like a pigeon, go ahead and knock it down. Because pigeon are legal 365, no limit. Euro doves, same. And they're the same size. They're gigantic. If you haven't had pigeon, I highly recommend it. You heard what I just said. I'm not talking about the skunk pigeons downtown. I'm talking about the stuff out in the burbs where I live. The stuff out near the farms. They're doing the same stuff. Dove. It's the same. It's dove family. So where a dove would be just like a little dove breast would be like a nice fillet. This is the tomahawk ribeye, and it's delicious. And yes, I am deadly serious. I'm telling you. I'll tell you this, Eddie. I debated with John Odell for years, and he was the small game biologist and a small game competitive chef for your Arizona Game and Fish Department. He said, try pigeon. No. Try pigeon. No. Try pigeon. No. I'm not going to try pigeon. He said, okay. 2 days before dove season, he said, look, a buddy of mine's got a farm. We're going to go out to the farm. We're just going to knock a bunch of pigeons down. You'll get some practice in. I knew where he's going with this, so I was fine. So went out to the farm, knocked down like 40 pigeon. It was a lot of fun. And then he tailgated in front of the radio station and made pigeon Euros. Damn. Wow. It was so good. It's almost like red meat. You've seen dove breast before. This is a big giant version of it. It's red meat. You sear those bad boys on each side. Woohoo! We're dancing now. Yeah. Not a beer chaser. I'm not even kidding. You don't even have to pregame with the beer. So just to let y'all know what I'm talking about here, but I'm talking about the dove and the pigeon and all that. Eating pigeon in most other countries in the world is called squab. It's a delicacy. It's on the menu. It's on menus. Yeah. What species of pigeon? Jim, come on, man. 11 years we've been doing this, man. You know what? I'm not a biologist. I don't know. Pigeon. The ones that are flying with the other Euros and whatnot. I guess I should look that up. But here in Arizona, whatever you can get abundantly in Arizona. So I'll have to look that up and find out how many species of pigeon are there? You think about it this way. Carrier pigeons didn't go extinct because they didn't deliver on Sunday. People were shooting them and eating them. And what do you practice with? The clay what? The clay pigeons. Right. Because shooting pigeons has been a part of our tradition since we're here, since we realized we could shoot birds out the sky. So, but anyway, so we're at it was sitting in the studio eating these wonderful pigeon gyros. And I had a chef coming in, a very well-known chef. He's actually up at Forest Highlands right now in Flagstaff. Chef Eddie Matney is the Lebanese. I love this man. He's like Gordon Ramsay is what he is. He's a sweet Gordon Ramsay. Amazing at his craft. Was like Arizona Republic Chef of the Year like 16 times or something like that. I don't know, a few times, whatever it was. So he comes in. And he talks, he yells a lot. He's just a fired up dude. He said, "Michael, I'm not eating a beef rat." That's what he yelled. I said, "Chef, I don't care, man. Get in here. We're talking about cooking dove, dude. Get in here." And there's John Odell's cooking. So Eddie Matney is staring. The chef is staring at this bowl of pigeon meat, just staring at it. And just eyeballing it the whole time. He's not concentrating. Yeah, not concentrating a lot. And so at the end, when he walks away, when he's leaving the studio, he's like, "Fine, I'll try it. Here, give it." And he like grabs a sliver of it. He puts it in his mouth and he does like chefs do, right? He does the whole, okay, I'm tasting a little bit of this. He swallows it. He pauses a minute. And he looks at John Odell and he said, "If you blind serve that in my restaurant, people would think it's filet." Truth. No lie. I don't I'm not out pigeon hunting a bunch, but I should be. How fun is that? So, it's delicious and it's, yeah. So anyway, but that's the thing. That's if you find a spot, guess what? If someone else there, ain't your spot anymore. It isn't, unless it's on your land, which we're going to get to in a minute here. And it's absolutely delicious what Minnesota's got going on. Holy mackerel. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're just gonna have to try. I think I'm just gonna have to. We're gonna have to figure out an event. Maybe we can get out there at Tony's spot out in the West Valley, and we can maybe give it a shot. Maybe do some pigeon hunting or some dove hunting or something like that. We got to figure this out. And no, Lynn, I'm telling you, hunting isn't complicated. Territory is complicated. Territory is very complicated. There's parts of hunting, even dove hunting, which I think is the best introduction to hunting you could possibly take anyone to do. Bird identification is an issue, but it's complicated, but it's manageable and learnable, and you just kind of start grooving, and you get what you're looking at. But just as far as hunting though, it's territory. It's when it comes down to, this was my spot, that was your spot. This was, no, I've been here first. No, I was here first, and no, you saw me loading up at the truck, and just y'all scoot a few yards down that way. Everybody's good. Here's our shooting lanes. Everybody's good. I have seen, what up, Grizz? I have seen youth. This was intern Sarah's first hunt at the dove shoot that they do out at Robbins Butte every dove season. 50, 70 kids. The vast majority have maybe, if they've ever shot a firearm, maybe once or twice. Most of them are borrowing shotguns. This is all put on by Game and Fish. It's the first birds that shoot down this firing line. It's because pop, and everyone's safe. Like all these kids lined up. There's mentors with them, things like that. All these kids lined up, and everybody's safe. So territory is one thing. I get it. That's your spot. Fine. Do you set up just a few nuggets down the road? Introduce yourself, man. Say, I got some fresh coffee in the truck. I got some donuts. Do you want to? Can I get you something? I'm we're rolling up here same time. Do you mind if I we just kind of scoot over here and over there? Yeah, cool. Get to know somebody. Make a friend. Don't do like these clowns and start yelling at each other. Winning hearts and minds, peeps. Winning hearts and minds, and that even means within our own ranks of the outdoors men and women that we have here. Thanks for hanging out with me. An interesting observation. that I made this weekend when the girlfriend and I went hiking again. And she was very kind. Remember, she actually listens to the show. So I said when taking someone hiking that doesn't hike, you need to set vocabulary, manage expectations. Like, what is a hard hike? What does hard mean? What does easy mean? You know what I mean? Manage expectations. And then that's going to make for a better time. She was managing my expectations. She actually alluded to the show. She's like, I'm manage, set your expectations properly. She said, this is a climb. It's straight up. It's almost 1,000 feet straight. It's not straight up, but it's up there. But it starts this whole Jurassic Park thing again. I was like, beginning of the hunt, beginning of the hike, I was like, this is easy. Okay, it's not so bad. And then she stops and looks up and goes, okay, this is where the climb begins. I'm like, oh crap. Here we go. Got to the top and learned what a tarantula hawk is. I did not know what a tarantula hawk was, but apparently that is a black waspy looking thing that its sting is the second or third most painful sting there is. Apparently there's a guy that's online that just gets stung by things, and that's his thing. This guy was writhing in pain. His arm couldn't move. Yikes. Anyway, got to the top and saw that. But here's the observation to me. My girlfriend said, this is my favorite part of the hike. And I thought that meant that like challenging, or this is really cool grade, or there's, whatever. This is just it. Because I'm just looking down, trying not to fall. And so she said, the favorite part of the hike. And I said, why is this your favorite part of the hike? She said, well, look at that cactus on the ledge right there, and look at the rock formation under it. I was like, yeah. Yeah, we're out here enjoying nature. We're out here enjoying nature. Yeah. You're supposed to be looking around. Supposed to be enjoying it. Again, you're not doing this for time. There's no Olympic medal for you. You just you go out and you hike and you enjoy nature. You enjoy everything. She's like, oh, I want to see the blooms on the hedgehog cactus. I'm like, oh, cool. The hell is a hedgehog cactus? I have no idea. But okay, we're supposed to be looking up instead of looking down and just focusing on not falling. That's so I've learned. We're learning this together. All right, let's get to Minnesota. Minnesota gone straight off the rails, and it's funny to me when they call it DNR, so the Department of Natural Resources. It's Minnesota's like Arizona Game and Fish Department. DNR, Department of Natural Resources, Department of Conservation, they call it in some Midwest states. They're all the same thing. So when I say Department of Natural Resources, that is the same as your Arizona Game and Fish Department. And by the way, Ed Sanchez will be joining me tomorrow. Ed Sanchez is Game and Fish's liaison to the House and the Senate here in Arizona. So there's a lot of legislation going through that we're going to get an inside look at. Possibilities, probabilities of passing, what that means to us, how laws will change. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. Ran into him last week on Thursday, and he was giving us some really, really cool things going on, and I want him to share that with you as well. So Ed Sanchez tomorrow with yours on a Game and Fish Department. Let's get back to Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't take too kindly to tree stands that shouldn't be there, to deer blinds that shouldn't be there. Whether they're on private property, whether they're on public property, but the law says you can't do that, they don't take kindly to that. And I'm sure they get calls and calls. Could you imagine how many calls, especially here in Arizona, you get where there's the Game and Fish Department gets, or the police get, somebody took my tree stand. I left my tree stand here and I left it locked. Someone took it down. Worse is when they take it down and put theirs up. Jeez. Okay. But I mean, honestly, it's like leaving your truck unlocked in the parking lot, wherever it is. Like if you're going to leave your tree stand up here in Arizona and it's not your land, most likely somebody's going to jack it or do something with it. Okay. No, I've been doing this for years and this. Okay, cool. But if somebody makes a beef about it, Arizona might go all Minnesota, because Minnesota is done had enough of this. Right? As a parent, you get this, right? Because the kids are bickering. You're like, I've been doing this for years. Okay, my first rodeo. All right, let them bicker. And then just when the bickering just gets to a level, you're like, enough. I got it. I'm ending this. I'm squashing it. That's what Minnesota did. to all these illegal deer stand and tree stand owners. They didn't just take them. Would have been the idea, right? It would have been what you think would be exactly what a Department of Natural Resources would do. But no. They went on Mike Russell. Because Mike Russell's a pyro. I'm a pyro. You know I am. You know I like to blow stuff up. They blew up the tree stands and the blinds with dynamite. Hey, how are we gonna get those? What are we gonna do with these tree stands? I don't know, but Ed over there in supply chain, he said that they have a bunch of dynamite. You want to use that? Sure. He's like, no, dude, I was kidding. No, let's use it. Let's go. Yeah, let's go blow these things up. Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. What? Okay. Oh, that's somebody's personal property. Somebody's personal property that's there legally. Blowed it up. I mean, look, I know very people I love that are in asset forfeiture. And if you don't know what asset forfeiture is, I'll use Game and Fish as an example. If you're poaching, they can take your Game and Fish can take your rifle, they can take your fishing equipment, they can take all your stuff. They keep it for keepsies. Yeah, keepsies, and they sell it. Okay, so instead of doing that, oh, that's right, Ed. You are a licensed pyro. God love you. The blowed up part is just it's a statement. And I keep talking about this with poaching, and if we don't have fines that are really, really punitive, if we don't have, I guess all fines are punitive. I mean, the really hurt, if we don't have jail time that actually means something and stop just taking people's hunting licenses away from them, we're never going to get rid of poaching. Nobody's going to take it serious. But if I erect in some of these things that I'm looking at an entire deer blind on a trailer, it's really cool looking. It was really cool looking. And somebody blows it up. If the law enforcement comes along and blows it up, okay, I get it. I hear you. All right, okay, got message sent. Appreciate it. I'm sure they checked if people were in there, at least most of the time. You know, I would have, kind of. Yeah. I had this wonderful young lady come up to me at the Arizona Small Business Summit on Thursday and say that that there was something, I don't know the event. It was like a wedding or something. And I don't know, it was a gender reveal party. Who the heck knows what it was? But they wanted to blow stuff. They wanted explosions. And apparently she did put on these events, and they sent her a big box of tannerite. If you know what tannerite is, well, there's one word to explain tannerite: fun. Tannerite's an explosive. When you shoot it, it goes boom. And so she's like, I don't know. They paid for it all. It just said, I didn't pay for this. It just showed up on my doorstep. Do you want it? Yeah, I'll get it. I'll take it off your hands for you. I'll take, a whole box of tannerite for free. I think I can. I'll one up you. I'll bring a couple bottles of wine. I'll say, hey, thanks. Appreciate the box of tannerite. Holy mackerel. Yeah. So we're waiting to hook up on that. That's I will blow things up. And by the way, she was like, I don't know where I could do it. I want to do it, but I don't know where I do it. And I said, this is probably why I haven't heard from her. I said, oh, you just call your local fire department. They'll tell you where you can and can't use it. Have you ever, men especially, have you ever said something to your girlfriend, your wife, and it comes out and it's almost in slow motion, and you're wanting to take it back? Oh, exactly what you said. You want it taken back. It's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I said, you just call your local fire department and they'll tell you where you can shoot it and set up. Yep. Might have just talked my way. Friendly advice out of a big old box of tannerite. Nice job, Michael. I went out a few times with some tannerite. It was a lot of fun. And everybody, especially out in the shooting areas, did you watch that bear cub? I actually am going to probably talk about that on Wednesday. That bear cub story is write up exactly what we talked about, Eddie. I appreciate that. But yes, bear cub story definitely coming up. What could be the harm of pulling out a bear cub a tree to take some pictures with it? Could possibly go wrong. Anyway, I was out in the desert. We were shooting just little water bottles. We were filling tannerite water bottles. So pop, pop, pop. That gets attention fast. And I'm not talking about like legal attention or anything like that, because where we were that was all good. People coming up. What are you guys shooting over here? Nothing. No. I heard it. What do you guys say? There's some exploding squirrels out there. They're 365 season exploding squirrels. You might have heard them. They're loud. Yeah. But tannerite is too much fun. I was surprised when I saw you can just pick it up at Cabela's, or do we have Cabela's anymore? It's a Bass Pro. Yeah, no. You can get it. You can get it at the Stowe. All right, let's do this before we bounce out of here. Somebody wrote something. Let's check it out. The bear cub story I'm all about. Pellet gun. Wait, quail out of the backyard one time. Oh my goodness sakes! I think you meant to say pellet grilled, because I don't know if I don't want to talk about pellet gunning. Pellet grilled quail out in the backyard one time. A little garlic and butter became nice and tasty. Yeah. Oh, you might have pellet gunned. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know air rifles are? I would check with your local authorities, but from what I understand it, pellets that's not a firearm. May be discharged. Just saying. And let me tell you something. Quail is so good. Quail is so dang good. I tell you what. Ed Sanchez from your Arizona Game and Fish Department will join us tomorrow. There's a lot of legislation that has to do with boating, with off-highway vehicles, licensing. Like there's dust-ups going on legislatively. There's a big item that they're trying to tackle right now at our state legislature, and this stuff's being kind of put on the back burner, but needs to get done and tackled. So there's time to learn about these pieces of legislation tomorrow that will impact you, that will impact our wildlife, will impact our conservation efforts. So it's good to know and good to learn about these things. And then you can contact your local representative and give your opinion, so to speak. All right. So that's it. Ed Sanchez from your Arizona Game and Fish Department, the legislative liaison for your Arizona Game and Fish Department, will join us tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. Had a good time today. See you.